Well, every Friday we celebrate Connecticut's cultural districts. The town of Manchester offers the perfect blend of small town charm and big city convenience, but inside all of that is so much more. So here to talk about Manchester is town historian Susan Barlow and Jessica Sweetland from the Manchester Library. Good morning, ladies. Thanks for being here.
Hi.
So becoming a cultural district is a high honor. What were the steps to get there, and what makes Manchester so special?
You have to show that you have arts, you support the arts, you have activities that are drawing in people, not just from your own town, but regionally. And Manchester has that, both in its buildings and in its people, who are very interested in arts and music and books.
And speaking of books, there's a library being built.
There is. It's really exciting. Yes. So recently, the Manchester residents voted to build this state-of-the-art 21st century modern library, which is really exciting. It's going to be like 3 times the size of our current space. So we're going to have so many things we can offer that people have been looking for. More space for programs. We have a lot of popular children's, teen, and adult programs, and they're free. And we have, computer access. You can come in, you can apply for a job, print, scan documents, and we also are going to have study rooms, meeting rooms. People keep looking for those, right? So a place to meet a tutor or another person to study, or just a quiet place to work. So it's exciting that we're going to have 3 times the more space to offer all of these services.
And that's opening next summer.
Next summer,
so
yeah.
We're getting there.
We are, and
Something
you
to
can
look forward
drive
to.
by now. You can see the structures up. It's really exciting to see as you see what's coming, right? It's a lot of anticipation.
And what are some interesting stops to make along the way in Manchester? Everyone talks about the Cheney Railroad. What makes that special, and where else do people need to go?
The Cheney Railroad is a 2.5-mile privately built railroad by the Cheney family to connect with the main line, and now it's a rail trail. Very popular. And along the way there are there's signs showing the history of the railroad and the history of that section of Manchester, the Cheney Silk Mills, which required transportation to bring in raw materials and to send out finished goods to go farther, New York and Boston, etc. So it's a very popular place to hike, and it's very near Cheney Hall, which was designed by Hammett Billings. Opened in 1867. It's like an opera house, which fell into terrible disrepair in the 1960s and 70s and has now been fixed up, preserved, and it's a cultural center in Manchester. It has the Little Theater of Manchester with plays and speakers, concerts, etc. Very popular. And I just want to say one other thing about modern times.
Yes.
The Historical Society, actually this has to do with COVID, when nobody was going anywhere and nobody was going to lectures, we were able to digitize the Manchester Heralds that are falling into, crumbling into bits. And you can read them all now online. Isn't that fun?
See what these are some of what you're going to find in there. So cool. So you're saying this is digitized now, so people can go on the internet and see it up close, wherever they are in the world.
Yeah, ManchesterHistory.org, and it's under the newspapers link. From 1881 to 1991, that's a lot of, it's thousands of
And it's
papers.
so great that history is never going to be erased. It's always going to be remembered and preserved. That's so important. And Jessica, if you want to see history in real time, you can do a walking tour in Manchester.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing about the library, right? It's a bridge between the past and the future and what's coming. And I think the town's just been doing a really good job of trying to find the needs of the diverse and vibrant community, especially downtown, and what they need. And they just renovated the Charter Oak Park right down the street at the end. You can see it from getting off of 384. And they have a new new turf soccer field that they added, as well as a popular skate park, so an all-wheels track that's been busy. Every time I drive by it, there's tons of people using it.
And I'm sure people from all over are coming to that.
Oh yeah, no, it's a
their
big
money
attraction.
in the community, which is great. Another one, Eagle Window. That's a former post office, right?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Manchester has 10 listings on the National Register of Historic Places, and one of them is the individual. Some of them are districts. This one is an individual building. The post office has this beautiful eagle window with beveled glass, and it's the kind of thing you could drive by 100 times and
not
never
know.
see.
Yeah.
But when you go on a walking tour, we pause and we look at that, and we hear about how it was designed and how they needed a new modern post office instead of like the front room of somebody's house. And that was very modern in the 1930s. Of course, now it's been adaptively reused as town offices, which is much better than tearing it down.
Absolutely. Yeah, preserving
Yeah.
every ounce of history they can is really cherished in our community. And we know Manchester so well because we sponsor the road race every
That's
year.
right.
So we are excited for that. Thank you for stopping by, Susan Barlow. And we have Jessica Sweetland.
Thanks
Thank
for having
you very
us.
much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.